Hello everyone, this is our Lululemon research video made by Laura Hunter, Joseph Gallant, Zachary Levi, and Eduardo Irizarry.
Lululemon was founded by Chip Wilson back in 1998 in Vancouver, British Columbia. Prior to founding Lululemon, Wilson ran a surf, skate, and snowboard apparel company for 20 years, so he was no stranger to the clothing business. Wilson was an exercise junkie, and during his observations in yoga classes, he noticed a lot of people were wearing cotton clothing. He came to the conclusion that this type of clothing for yoga classes was inappropriate, it was stretchy, and a lot of people were sweating right through the cotton. This motivated Wilson to create a clothing line that was flexible, brisk, and just flat out unique. Before coming to the United States, Lululemon thought it was first beneficial that they were primarily in Canada for the first 4 or 5 years of their company. They were able to get a little bit of a head start before going into the US, which allowed them to make mistakes and find the true meaning and character of the company. In 2005, Chip Wilson brought on Bob Mears, who was the former CEO of Reebok, to spearhead Lululemon's expansion into the United States. Mears had experience in the American markets and was hired to set the direction and tone for the company in the U.S. Lululemon went public in 2007 and started expanding tremendously. With change on the horizon, Lululemon brought in Christine Day as the CEO in 2007, who previously had an established and successful career for 20 years with Starbucks, working directly with CEO Howard Schultz. Day brought in the culture of Lululemon that we know today, which is all based around people, the people who work for Lululemon and the people that purchase the product. Her vision was to elevate the world from mediocrity to greatness. One of Lululemon's biggest strengths is their core value system. Lululemon believes in certain values that they ask of their employees, and these are things that the company associates themselves with. These core values are quality, product, integrity, balance, entrepreneurship, greatness, and fun. Lululemon's employees are extremely enthusiastic about the product, which is another strength of the company. They are also knowledgeable about every aspect of the company itself. Lululemon believes that their employees need to be knowledgeable about the product due to the price of the product. They are capable to answer any question a customer might bring to their attention, which creates for a positive shopping experience for their customers. Lululemon takes a lot of pride in receiving feedback about their product. The company has local athletes and fitness instructors try out their products and provide feedback about it. They are not just getting random people off the street to test out their products, they are getting professionals who make up Lululemon's target customers. Lululemon not only receives the feedback, but they receive it with an open mind, and they are willing to make any change necessary that will make their product better. One of Lululemon's biggest weaknesses was hiring Bob Mears. The reason they brought him on was because he had experience with the American markets as a former CEO of Reebok. Although Mears did have valuable experience, he did not have the same core values that Lululemon had. Mears was used to the big company where Lululemon was much more on the smaller end. They were just looking to expand, and Mears was trying to blow them up and make them similar to Reebok. Lululemon quickly realized that this was not the direction that they wanted to go in, which is when they decided to make Christine Day their CEO. Although giving employees freedom is great, there is a chance that this could hurt them as well. Lululemon allows their store managers to completely run their particular store. There is no cookie cutter Lululemon. Even though all employees have the same overall vision, the stores vary tremendously. And even though this is unique to Lululemon itself, we feel it would be better if each store was on the same page. The final weakness we discovered is the price of Lululemon products and how it can drive away customers. The quality of the product is high, but Lululemon can still separate themselves from the pack without making the clothing so expensive. Lululemon can still have a price gap even if they made their products a little less expensive.
A review of the nature of the external environment surrounding Lululemon shows several relevant opportunities and threats that affect the future success and strength of Lululemon. Analyzing Lululemon using Porter's 5 Forces model shows ongoing threats and opportunities within the industry. Established brands introducing competitive products with a lower pricing strategy and comparable materials provides consumers with a choice. To overcome these challenges, Lululemon must continue research and development to offer new, innovative products and explore opportunities to lower the cost and in turn the price to end users. Constant review and renewal of Lululemon's offerings significantly decreases the chance that new entrants will feel confident entering the market. Lululemon's trademark fabric for their clothing brings exclusivity, but opens the door to supply challenges. With such specialized materials and a limited selection of suppliers, the power lies with the suppliers who can directly reduce profit margins. Lululemon might address the power of the supplier issues by exploring alternative fabrics or raw materials for their fabrics. This would eliminate supply issues so the price of one raw material increased drastically. Establishing dedicated partnerships with suppliers reduces the power of the supplier. If Lululemon can create a dependency of the supplier on the demand from Lululemon exclusively, the power of that supplier is all but eliminated. In general, buyers hold all the power. Consumers will typically forego brand loyalty for better pricing on preferred products. By continuing the innovation of new products and expanding brand offerings in this segment, Lululemon will build a larger customer base and reduce the threat of buyers seeking discounted alternatives with competitors. In such a niche market, Lululemon needs to be aware of substitute products entering the industry. This will threaten the unique selling position of Lululemon if the substitute product offers an equitable or higher value proposition. Brand loyalty can be established through service-oriented endeavors rather than simply product focus. Understanding the needs of the consumer will allow Lululemon to respond with new products or pricing to solidify the relationship with the consumer. Existing or new competition in the industry will inevitably impact the long-term viability of Lululemon, as it will drive down pricing and dilute the exclusivity of the product. Maintaining a considerable and sustainable unique selling position will differentiate Lululemon from its competitors and reinforce the strength of the company. Future strategic alignment with competition would increase Lululemon's market share. Understanding and identifying the challenges, opportunities, and trends will enable Lululemon to respond appropriately to shape the market. Lululemon was introduced to the market just as women began to participate more in sports and fitness. A high-level SWOT analysis reveals the following strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths include company culture and brand recognition, trademarked innovative fabric, commitment to employee training and development, solid financials, store expansion, and relationship with suppliers. Weaknesses include inconsistent leadership, recent product failures and ongoing concerns with quality, and price point. Opportunities for Lululemon reveal continued expansion into new geographic locations and with demographics, co-branding with professional athletes and health clubs, innovation for renewed customer demand, e-commerce, and a continued rise in obesity will lead to a renewed commitment to fitness. Finally, threats include competitive brands, quality concerns, price point, fluctuating personal wealth and disposable income, inconsistent leadership, and again, the continued rise in obesity could alternatively reduce consumers' desire to engage in fitness and purchase fitness clothing.
Covering Lululemon's unique corporate level and business level strategies. At the corporate level, Lululemon has gone through several stages of leadership depending on the company's current position and status. When they hired Bob Mears, their company was going into a massive growth phase with launching their IPO and expanding rapidly on their stores. Bob helped them through this huge undertaking in many ways, but he ultimately left the company because he couldn't align himself with Lulu's vision and strategy. The company's always been about creating a cult-like following for their brand, and also inspiring and educating the customers as opposed to selling to them. Mir and his other executives that he brought into the company were all too focused on operating like a Nike, Adidas, or Reebok, and they never adapted to Wilson's values that built the foundation of Lululemon's success in Canada. CEO Christine Day, on the other hand, fell more in line with company objectives. She provided a sense of leadership and dedication to the company, while inheriting its core values, which are similar to that of her former employer, Starbucks. Although Christine eventually had a falling out with leadership, she seemed to bring organization to Lululemon while following corporate expectations. One of the things that separates Lulu from the rest of the industry is their view on infrastructure of the company, specifically at the business level. Chip Wilson, the founder, is an energetic risk taker who wanted to keep his sort of entrepreneurial spirit throughout the ranks of his company. Individuals at the corporate level seem to provide guidance and direction, while handing most of the power into the individual store owners themselves. Letting managers control their own stores in both appearance and the way they operate helped to inspire commitment and buy-in. This influenced good performance while maintaining the original entrepreneurial feel that Wilson was going for when Lululemon got started. By allowing business owners to make the decisions, the stores were able to adapt more to their local environment and customer base.
Lululemon has a board of directors that are elected by stockholders. They make significant decisions in the company. They are responsible for hiring senior managers and making sure the company is going on the right path. The board of directors must be qualified and independent in its decision making. A lead director is elected from the board to work with the CEO and senior management to set goals for the company. The company of Lululemon concentrates on the style, design, quality, and production of technical athletic apparel, focusing on yoga and running activity. The company uses both backward vertical integration and forward vertical integration. Products are made only in Lululemon approved factories and only after a rigid selection process with ongoing evaluation by the global sourcing and management teams. Lululemon is highly decentralized. Lululemon uses empowerment as a structured strategy where each store manager operates their own store as if we're their own small business. Managers provide feedback to the departments. Stores are expected to integrate into the community. This allows store managers to formulate a well-implemented visible strategy. In 2018, Lululemon invested $3.76 million in training employees, which takes 40 hours to a full month teaching personal accountability. Lululemon pay managers 80% of their total cash in base pay. The other 20% is earned through achieving sales and labor targets. If controllable expenses have been managed, they also have an opportunity to earn exceptional bonus based on sales. Even though the Lululemon strategy of putting the power and their store managers in hands successful, it also leaves them very vulnerable to sustain the corporate image and the corporate brand that they have achieved. To avoid lawsuits or other major issues, they should consider tightening regulations and control over the stores slightly without interfering with the business owner's freedom. One of our recommendations for the company is lowering the price of the product. Even though it's a high quality product, they are over $20 to other competitors with the same quality. This leads to customers leaning towards buying a cheaper brand for the same quality. Another of our recommendations for the Lululemon company is to expand the men's style. When we looked into the website, besides their expensive apparel, we saw that the apparel was too simple. They should target the younger generation, where they have more variety in colors and style. Nike has been very successful because of their variety in colors and style.